When I was younger, the only thing I ever wanted was to be smart. My mother worked at Hewlett Packard, and thanks to a stroke of luck, or maybe fate, I started working there at 17. I began with computer assembly and metal machining. I didn't realize at the time, but this job opened a door to a world I never knew existed. HP offered an educational enrichment program, and through it, I enrolled in Boise State University. I discovered that my passion wasn't limited to my major. It was in the core courses: art, art history, Asian history, philosophy. These were the subjects that lit something inside of me. Still developing my technical skills, I felt a deep pull to explore the world. So I went to Chengdu, China to study international business and multi ethnic studies. Those travels changed everything. My perspective changed from small town lens to a global viewpoint. One of my early goals was to work in the Pacific Rim, and now, years later, I'm coming full circle. With the multimedia experience I gained at Peninsula College, I'm heading back to Vietnam to document the impact of tourism. My technical education had value, but the truth? Sitting in an office answering tech support calls strained me. The jobs paid well, but they didn't fulfill me. Art found me through a dare. While I was in China, my roommate told me about Burning Man, a pyrotechnic and technical art event in the Nevada desert. I told her I'd love to build something for that one day. She looked at me and said, "You grew up in Boise. You're not diverse enough. You could never create anything of interest." I knew that wasn't true. I had spent years at Hewlett Packard, and it had shown me I could build almost anything. And if I couldn't build it alone, I could collaborate. My first project was a kinetic neon butterfly, 6 feet wide, wings that moved. The next year, I dove into fire arts and created the first large scale pyrotechnic sculpture event in Boise. By 2005, I brought Synapses Misfire, a fiber optic sculpture, and Tears of Fire to Burning Man. This event taught me something deeper. Art isn't just about an object, it's about community it creates. I didn't need to be in the desert every year to feel like that again. I brought it home. In 2018, I became the art commissioner for Gig Harbor, helping to produce festivals. After moving to Olympia, I joined the Procession of the Species, a massive Earth Day parade where 4,000 people become creatures of the land, sea, and sky. At night, we hold an illuminary ball, a silent, glowing dance that raises awareness for the free art studio supporting the procession. But as I age, I have to face the truth. Large scale sculpture is physically taxing. So I returned to my roots in tech, and at this time with AI and animation and multimedia. That led me to Mystic Moon, an interactive installation created for Wintertide here in Port Angeles. It blended all I've ever loved: light, movement, interactivity, and gave me a new voice. Bubble. Traveling to China cracked it wide open. Suddenly I was immersed in new languages, religions, and architecture. Color was everywhere. And the sound. They even had more notes in their musical scale. That wonder led me to Tibet, where my belief system and beauty danced together. To Thailand, where I fell in love with the blue waters and limestone caves. To Indonesia, where I traced the intricacies of rice terraces and batik tapestries. No matter how different the traditions, I saw the same thread again and again. People want a good life. They want purpose. They love their families. They honor their food, their land, and their stories. In the 2000s, as international travel became more costly, I shifted focus. I explored Mexico's Yucatan, dove the sacred cenotes, and checked off another of my wish list from my bucket list. In 2024, my love for light and lanterns took me back to Vietnam, just as the world was shutting down from COVID. What could have been a disaster turned into a gift. I was detained for 9 months, but in that time, I didn't just visit Vietnam, I lived it. I experienced its heartbeat, its resilience, and its rhythm. Every opportunity I've had starts with a connection. My mother got me the job at Hewlett Packard. HP sent me to school. That schooling led me to China. China introduced me to Burning Man. Burning Man connected me to Second Life. And Second Life convention, I met Professor Brock. That one spark led me to a lifetime of creative connections. From luminary processions to lantern festivals, from virtual worlds to real ones, each stitch has led me to the next. After Vietnam, COVID shut down the world and my job in Olympia ended. But through Professor Brock, I found new pathways. She connected me to local festivals and back to school again, this time to develop my multimedia skills for a new chapter. This isn't a straight line, it's a crazy quilt, stitched together, ripped apart, and restitched again. I used to think education would make me smart, but what I learned is being able to figure things out. That's far more powerful. I'm a lifetime learner. Every success, every setback, every odd job and adventure, they've all stitched me into someone a little wiser, a little more compassionate. Even at 60, I'm just like you, still trying to figure it out, still walking forward. And now the circle is complete. On May 19th, 2025, I returned to Vietnam, this time to film a documentary on how tourism is affecting the traditional arts community in hill tribes on the border of Vietnam and China. The timing may not be perfect, but that's the truth of a handmade life. We pick up the needle, we patch what we can, we brush ourselves off, and we keep on stitching the story forward.